Good morning, dear friend. The sun is just beginning to rise, brushing the sky with soft hues of gold and amber. The world is quiet now, caught in that sacred stillness before the noise begins. This is the holiest part of the day, when shadows begin to lift, and new mercies arrive with the dawn. In this gentle hour, your soul is more open, your heart more tender, and heaven feels just a little bit closer. Wherever you are right now, sitting by a window with coffee in hand, driving alone in the car, or still wrapped in the silence of your bedroom, I want to speak to your heart. Perhaps you have woken up feeling heavy, the kind of heaviness that is not physical, but weighs deeper. Maybe you did not sleep well, not because of noise, but because of what has been echoing inside you. Worry about a child, a marriage that feels cold, a diagnosis you did not see coming. Or maybe it is something harder to name, the silent ache of feeling disconnected, unseen, or forgotten. Not long ago, I met someone who shared her story with trembling hands. She had lost her job, was caring for her sick mother, and had just ended a painful relationship. She said she would wake up each morning and stare at the ceiling, wondering how much longer she could pretend to be okay. "I wanted to pray," she whispered, "but I did not even know what to say anymore. I felt like my words would not reach him." Maybe you have been there too, or maybe you are there now. But here's the truth. The silence of your pain does not mean the absence of God. He hears even the prayers you are too weary to speak. He sees the tears you hide from everyone else. He is closer than your breath, even when your world feels like it is falling apart. This is why prayer matters. Not because we always know the right words, not because it magically fixes everything in a moment, but because prayer realigns our hearts with truth. It reminds us that we are not abandoned. It opens the door for healing, strength, and new vision to enter. Prayer is not performance. It is not a list. It is not a formula. Prayer is a conversation with the one who knows you better than you know yourself. The one who never tires of your voice, who collects your tears, and who can take the broken pieces of your life and build something sacred. This morning, you are invited to begin again. Not just your day, but your life. You are invited to let go of what you have been carrying and step into something new. Not by force, but by surrender. Not by striving, but by opening your heart and letting God speak into the places you have hidden the longest. You may feel unqualified. You may feel like you have failed too many times. You may still be grieving, but none of that disqualifies you from God's love or His purpose for your life. In fact, those very wounds may be the soil from which new strength will rise. So as you listen today, I encourage you to slow down, breathe deeply. Let the outside world wait. This is your sacred space, your moment to come as you are, not as you think you should be. Let every word that follows be more than a prayer. Let it be a pathway, a soft, steady guide leading you out of fear and into peace, out of guilt and into grace, out of weariness and into a holy kind of rest. You do not need to have it all figured out. You only need to be willing. Willing to listen, willing to hope again, willing to trust that God is not finished writing your story. The sun has risen, and with it comes a new mercy. Now, dear friend, open your heart. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, I come to you in the quiet of this morning, not hiding my weariness, and not pretending to be strong. I wake up with a heaviness in my chest, with thoughts that raced through the night and fears that followed me into the dawn. I bring them to you as they are, tangled and unfinished, because I no longer want to carry them alone. I feel fragile today, Lord, uncertain about what lies ahead and unsure of my own strength to face it. Still, I come, because even in my weakness I know you are near. There are moments when the silence feels overwhelming, when my prayers seem to echo back to me unanswered. In those moments I wonder if you see me where I am, standing in the middle of confusion and longing for clarity. I confess that I am tired of pretending everything is fine. I am tired of holding myself together when inside I feel scattered and worn down. I need your presence more than explanations. I need your nearness more than quick solutions. Father, I admit that fear has followed me closely. Fear of losing what I love. Fear of making the wrong decision. Fear that the pain I have known will never fully loosen its grip. I have replayed past failures and painful memories, allowing them to shape how I see today. I have questioned my worth and doubted whether my future could look different from my past. I place these thoughts before you now, because they are too heavy for my heart to keep holding. I stand before you like dry ground waiting for rain, unsure if the clouds will ever gather again. I feel like I have reached the end of what I can manage on my own. I confess that I do not have all the answers, and I no longer want to rely on my own understanding. I am learning that exhaustion can be an invitation to trust, and emptiness can be a space you are ready to fill. Lord, if you are listening, I am speaking honestly. If you are near, I am reaching out. I may not have eloquent words, but I have a willing heart. I ask you to meet me right here in this moment, not when I am stronger, not when I have everything figured out, but now. See the places where I feel overlooked and remind me that I am known. Touch the areas where disappointment has settled and bring comfort where I have grown numb. I acknowledge that I cannot control everything ahead of me. I release my tight grip on what I thought life should look like by now. I lay down my expectations, my timelines, and my fear of change. I am standing at the edge of something unfamiliar, and it frightens me. Yet I sense that you are present even here. Help me to believe that uncertainty does not mean abandonment. Father, I open my heart to you at the beginning of this day. I invite you into my thoughts, my emotions, and my unspoken worries. I do not ask for perfection, only for guidance. I do not ask for ease, only for your strength to walk forward. As this morning unfolds, I choose to turn my face toward you, trusting that even in my brokenness, you are already at work. I am aware of the quiet battles within me that no one else can see, the doubts that rise without warning, the ache that lingers even when I smile. I bring these hidden struggles into your light, believing they do not scare you away. You are not offended by my honesty, and you are not distant from my pain. You remain steady when my emotions shift and faithful when my resolve feels weak. This morning I acknowledge that I cannot heal myself. I cannot fix every broken place or erase every regret. I need your gentle hand to steady me and your wisdom to guide my steps. I ask you to help me breathe again without the weight of yesterday pressing on my chest. Teach me how to rest my thoughts in truth instead of fear. Teach me how to listen for your voice when my mind feels loud. There is a part of me that longs for reassurance, a sign that you are still moving in my life. I confess that waiting has tested my patience and stretched my faith. Yet even now, I choose to believe that silence does not mean inactivity. I choose to trust that unseen work is still work, and that your timing carries purpose even when it challenges me. As I stand at the beginning of this day, I ask you to quiet my anxious thoughts and soften my guarded heart. Help me to receive what this moment holds without being consumed by what I cannot control. Remind me that I am not defined by my fears, my mistakes, or my exhaustion. I belong to you, even when I feel uncertain and undone. I place this morning into your hands, knowing I need you to walk with me through every hour. Let this prayer be the first step of surrender, the opening of a conversation that continues as the day unfolds. I am here, Lord, with all that I am, waiting, listening, and willing to trust you one breath at a time. I remain here in this stillness, allowing your presence to settle my soul and hold me steady as the day begins. I wait without rushing, trusting that this quiet beginning is enough for now. I stay present. I choose to trust. Still, Lord, I have lingered in the silence, and now I lift my voice not because I have found strength, but because I have found the courage to be honest. I cry out to you from the middle of my wilderness, where the road seems lost and the landmarks of certainty have disappeared. I am not pretending to be whole today. I am not trying to sound brave. I simply come with what I have left, a longing that refuses to be buried, a whisper that keeps rising even when everything around me feels dry. This cry is not polished. It is raw and unfiltered. I speak not because I know what to say, but because the silence no longer comforts me. You, God, are my only constant in this unfamiliar place. I am tired of wandering in circles, tired of trying to map my own escape. I need you to make a way where I cannot see one. The desert around me is wide, and I have run out of directions to follow. My feet are sore from striving. My soul is sore from waiting. I admit that I have tried to fix things by myself. I have used my own strength until it wore thin. I have prayed halfway, hoping for results but doubting your response. I have wrestled with the fear that maybe you are distant, or maybe I have gone too far to be heard. But deep down, I believe you have not turned away. I believe you are near, even now, even here, in this dry and aching place. So I cry out not as someone who deserves, but as someone who depends. I cry out because I know my own voice is not enough. I need yours. Speak, Lord. Speak into my exhaustion. Speak into my confusion. Speak into this space where I have run out of words to explain what hurts and why. Even if you do not explain, just let me know you are listening. I surrender the pride that keeps me silent. I surrender the mask that says, I am fine. I surrender the tendency to hold everything together out of fear that it will all fall apart if I let go. I let go now, not to collapse, but to be carried, not to give up, but to give over what was never mine to control in the first place. I bring you the pages I have tried to write without you. The chapters filled with striving, the margins cluttered with worry, the paragraphs soaked in regret. Take them, Lord. I do not want to keep repeating old stories. I do not want to live inside a loop of shame and survival. I want to be rewritten by your hand. Start something new in me. even if it begins with the tearing down of what I once built alone. This wilderness feels endless, but if you are here, then even here can become sacred ground. The emptiness I fear might be the space you are clearing for something better. If I have been stripped of what no longer serves, let it be because you are preparing me for what will. If you are pruning me, let it be for fruit I cannot yet see. If this is not punishment but preparation, help me to trust the process even when it hurts. God, I confess my fear of change. I admit I have grown strangely comfortable in broken places. I have called disappointment normal and named anxiety my companion. But I know you did not create me for this. I know you are calling me out of this cave of despair, not to shame me, but to set me free. You are not rushing me, but you are inviting me to stop hiding behind numbness and step into something more honest, more holy, more whole. I want to follow, Lord, but I need help to move. Teach me how to walk again, not in the patterns of my past, but in the direction of your voice. I do not want to stay stuck just because the pain feels familiar. Help me believe that what is ahead holds more than what I have lost. Remind me that you still lead with kindness, even when the path you choose is narrow and steep. Breathe life into the parts of me that have stopped hoping. Light a fire where apathy has set in. Shake the dust off the dreams I buried too early. I may not feel ready, but I choose to respond. I say yes to your invitation, even while my knees tremble. I say yes to healing, even when it means reopening old wounds. I say yes to surrender, even when I do not know what you will do with what I give you. Father, I choose to believe that this wilderness is not the end. I choose to believe you are still writing, still moving, still making something beautiful from ashes. I am not asking for every answer. I am asking for your presence to lead me. Be the cloud by day and the fire by night. Be the voice that calls me forward and the hand that holds me when I can't take another step. I no longer want to wander without direction. I no longer want to build walls around a life you are trying to change. Break the patterns that keep me bound. Break the lies that say, I will never get out of this place. Break the silence between us with one word of love, one whisper of purpose, one breath of hope. Let this cry rise to you, not as a complaint, but as a confession that I need you more than ever. I cannot do this on my own. I was not meant to. You are the God who parted seas and made roads through deserts. You are the God who finds the lost and heals the broken. You are the one I call to now, with open hands and trembling faith. This is not just a moment. This is my decision. I am reaching, Lord, not because I understand everything, but because I trust that you do. I trust that you are not done with me. I trust that the wilderness does not define me. I trust that what feels like the end is the beginning of something I cannot yet see. I trust that the cry of my heart is not ignored, but answered in a way that only you can. I will not stop crying out. I will not stop waiting for you to come. I will not stop believing that even in this wilderness, you are still God. Father, even as I cry out to you from the dry and aching places of my heart, something within me stirs quiet and persistent, like the flicker of a forgotten flame. I remember that this is not the first time I have wandered through unknown paths. I remember that this is not the first time I have felt lost overwhelmed, or uncertain of the road ahead. And I remember that every single time, somehow, you met me there. You were faithful then. You are faithful still. God, I begin to trace back the moments when all seemed impossible, when fear shouted louder than hope, and I thought there would be no way through. But you made a way, not always in the way I expected, not always quickly, but always with purpose. You were present in the silence. You were moving even when I could not feel the ground beneath my feet. And though I often failed to recognize your hand at the time, now I see the pattern of your love woven through it all. You lifted me when I was crushed beneath disappointment. You calmed storms I did not know how to survive. You brought provision in the final hour. You turned grief into understanding, weakness into compassion, and brokenness into beauty I never imagined could come from pain. Lord, you were not absent then. You were working behind every closed door, inside every delay, and through every loss. Today I need to remember, not just for comfort, but for courage to keep walking. I recall the prayers I whispered long ago, barely believing you would answer. Yet you did, not always how I planned, but always in the way my soul needed most. I remember healing that came after years of waiting. I remember clarity that rose from chaos. I remember the peace that settled in places where fear once ruled. I remember the unexplainable joy that broke through on days I least expected it. And I remember your voice, the way it broke into my darkness with just enough light to take the next step. These memories are not just sentimental echoes. They are anchors, proof that you do not leave what you begin. You carried me before, and I believe you will carry me again. You are the same God who lifted me out of the valley, the same God who answered my cries when I felt invisible, the same God who turned mourning into dancing, sorrow into strength, and silence into songs of praise. I do not want to forget who you have been, because remembering gives me faith to believe in who you still are. There are scars I carry that once bled with pain, but now they mark survival. They mark redemption. They remind me that you are not only the God of the destination, but the God of the journey. You never wasted a single tear, never missed a moment of my struggle, even in the seasons where I turned away or doubted your goodness. You remained. You waited patiently until I was ready to see again. And when I did, I realized you had never stopped watching over me. Father, bring to my mind the victories I have buried under discouragement. Bring back the moments when you proved that nothing is too hard for you. Stir up the memories of when I laughed again after loss, stood again after falling, loved again after heartbreak. These are the miracles I must not forget. They are not small things. They are reminders that I am deeply known and fiercely loved. Help me to see that your faithfulness is not just a chapter of the past, but a thread that continues into my present. You are not the God of once upon a time. You are the God of still healing, still speaking, still redeeming what I thought was over, still turning ashes into beauty, still building paths where none exist, still holding me when I do not understand. My faith grows as I remember. My trust deepens as I reflect. Even now, as I face uncertainty, I will not allow the shadows of today to erase the miracles of yesterday. I will not let this valley silence the song you gave me before. I will not allow fear to blur the vision of your promises already fulfilled. I will rehearse your goodness until it becomes louder than doubt. I will repeat the stories of deliverance until my heart finds strength in them again. I will declare what you have done, not just to others, but to myself, so I do not forget. Lord, I thank you for the time you restored what I thought was permanently lost. I thank you for the season when everything I depended on fell apart, but you gave me something better, your presence. I thank you for the friends I did not know I needed, the doors I did not know to pray for, and the grace I never felt worthy to receive. You have done great things, and even when I failed to recognize them in the moment, I see them now for what they were. Love. Let gratitude rise in me again, not shallow, temporary thanks, but the deep, steady kind that anchors my soul. Let thanksgiving become my shield when worry tries to creep back in. Let remembrance be my weapon when fear knocks at the door. Remind me to speak of your wonders aloud, to write them down, to tell the next generation of the God who saves, restores, and renews. And as I reflect on what you have done, give me confidence for what you are doing now. Let the past victories prepare my heart for the new miracles ahead. I may not know what they will look like, but I know who you are. You are the God who rescues with compassion, who answers with perfect timing, and who never breaks a single promise. You are still writing my story, and if you are still writing, then I am still hoping. I choose to rest in this truth today, that the same power that brought me through before is still alive in me now. The same hand that held me in the night is the hand that leads me in the light. The same voice that spoke peace over chaos still speaks to my soul in the waiting. I may not know the next chapter, but I know the author, and that is enough. You are enough. Your history with me is my hope. Your record of faithfulness is flawless, and I will not forget. I will not overlook the beauty you have already given. I will not minimize the mountains you moved or the valleys you carried me through, because you were with me then. I trust you are with me now, and I will keep remembering, even when it hurts, because every memory of mercy is a seed of faith for what is still to come. Lord, because I remember what you have done, I am learning to trust what I cannot yet see. The echoes of your past faithfulness quiet some of the noise inside me, but still, I confess that waiting is hard. I look around, and so much still feels the same. The mountain has not moved. The door has not opened. The answer has not come. But deep within me, something whispers that even now, beneath the surface, you are working. I want to believe that silence is not stillness, and that slowness is not absence. I want to rest in the truth that you are never idle, never uncertain, never behind schedule. You are the God who plants before he reveals, the God who forms things in secret before unveiling them in glory. Just because I do not see change does not mean change is not taking place. Just because I do not feel movement does not mean you are not leading me forward. God, help me trust that hidden work is holy work, just as seeds break open underground before they ever rise through the soil. I believe you are breaking things open in me that will one day bring new life. I believe you are healing wounds I have long ignored, restoring strength I did not know I had lost, and reshaping my faith with patient, loving hands. And I admit there are days I wish it would all happen faster, but I also admit I would rather be deeply transformed than quickly relieved. Father, I have asked for breakthrough, But perhaps what I need most is depth. Not the kind of faith that rides on moments of joy, but the kind that stands firm in quiet seasons. Not the kind that waits only for blessings, but the kind that clings to you when nothing changes. I want that kind of faith. I want to be anchored, not shaken, rooted, not rushed, grown from within so that when the fruit finally comes, it will last. Teach me to honor the hidden places, the silent mornings, the slow answers, the days when I feel unseen. Teach me to believe that you are shaping me in the shadows, preparing me in the quiet, and building something strong enough to carry the weight of what is next. Let me not waste the stillness by wishing it away. Let me not despise the unseen just because it feels unglorious. You are the same God who formed the earth in darkness, who knit life together in the hidden places of the womb, who raised a Savior in silence for 30 years before the world ever saw him preach. Your ways are never careless. They are deliberate, designed, and deeply intentional. So I surrender my demand to understand. I lay down my obsession with instant answers and trust that you are not finished, even if I can't feel what you are doing yet. Lord, I know you are not in a hurry, and I do not want to run ahead of you. I do not want to force what you are still forming. I do not want to miss what you are teaching, because I am too focused on what you have not yet revealed. Make my heart soft and patient. Make it quiet enough to sense your nudges and steady enough to stay. When everything inside me wants to move on, I confess that I often equate your love with visible blessings. But now I see your love is most profound when you hold me through the long in-betweens. Your love is most powerful when you let me wrestle, wait, and grow stronger in the tension. So if this is the season of planting, then I want to be good soil. I want to be open, receptive, and faithful with what you are doing beneath the surface of my life. God, I am letting go of timelines. I am releasing the pressure I have put on myself to be further along by now. I give you the comparison that steals my peace and the self-judgment that clouds my joy. I do not want to miss the wonder of now, just because it does not look like I expected. I do not want to rush through today, trying to chase tomorrow. I want to be here, fully, gratefully, expectantly. Even when I do not understand, help me trust that you are developing things in me that are eternal, faith that is unshaken by delay, hope that stretches through disappointment, love that deepens instead of fades. Let these roots go down deep, so that when the winds come, I will not be moved. Let the unseen layers of trust and surrender become the foundation of all that you are building in my life. Remind me that even now, in this ordinary moment, miracles are unfolding, not the dramatic kind I always pray for, but the quiet kind, new thoughts replacing old lies, bitterness turning slowly to compassion, fear losing its grip on the edges of my mind. These are the breakthroughs I might overlook if I am not watching closely. These are the answers that come dressed in simplicity, but they are no less sacred. They are no less you. So today, I choose to believe that what I see is not the whole story. I choose to believe that the silence is sacred space. I choose to believe that waiting is not a punishment, but a preparation. You are making room in me for more. Not just more blessing, but more of you. And if the process takes time, let that time be filled with purpose. I trust you, Lord, even here, even now, even when I do not know what is next. I trust that what you are doing in secret will one day be revealed in glory. I trust that the promises you have whispered in the quiet will not return void. I trust that the strength you are building in me will carry me further than anything I could build on my own. And when the day comes that the fruit appears, when what you have planted breaks through the surface, let it not be said that I arrived there on my own. Let it be clear that every step, every pause, every silent morning was held in your hands. Let it be a testimony, not of my striving, but of your steady grace. Let my life speak not just of the destination, but of the beauty found in the still, sacred work beneath the surface. Father, now that I have slowed down enough to sense you beneath the surface, I begin to feel something deeper stirring an ache I have tried to silence, a bruise I have learned to live around. I have spoken of trust and waiting, but today I come with something raw. I bring you the places in me that still hurt. Even after all this time, the wounds I have covered with strength, the stories I have refused to revisit, the quiet grief I have never fully named. Lord, I believe you heal, not only in the light but also in the shadows, and I need you to meet me there. You see the parts of me I have kept hidden, not because I do not trust you, but because I am afraid of what it might stir. I have grown used to functioning with broken pieces tucked away. I have built walls around them, thinking they would protect me, but all they have done is isolate me. I have smiled through pain. I have served while empty. I have encouraged others with words I struggle to believe for myself. But you know the truth. You know where the memories still sting and the shame still whispers, and you do not turn away. God, I am tired of pretending I am not still bleeding. I am tired of avoiding the places in me that need your touch. So today I invite you into those rooms, the ones I have closed off, even to myself. I invite you into the conversations that still echo with regret, into the decisions I wish I could undo, into the nights when fear won, into the moments when love was not returned and hope went quiet. I invite you not to observe, but to enter, to sit with me in the pain, and to begin the healing only you can bring. There are names I have not spoken in a long time, because they still carry the weight of disappointment. There are places I avoid because they remind me of what I lost. And there are parts of my story I have tried to forget, thinking forgetting was the same as moving on. But it is not. Healing is not forgetting. It is remembering differently. It is seeing the same scar, but no longer feeling the same pain. It is looking at the wound and finally saying, God was there. So I lay these memories before you now, not to relive them, but to redeem them. I give you the betrayal that shattered my trust, the rejection that made me question my worth, the silence that followed my cries for help. I give you the anger I never voiced, the forgiveness I withheld, the guilt I buried. I open my heart not just to be comforted, but to be changed. I do not want to walk around the same mountain. I do not want to carry these silent burdens into the next season. I want to be free. Lord, remind me that healing does not always come all at once. Sometimes it arrives quietly, in layers, through conversations I did not expect or tears I did not plan. Sometimes it comes not as an answer, but as a shift inside me, a loosening of the grip, a softening of the edges, a moment of peace where there used to be tension. Sometimes healing comes when I allow myself to feel again without being overcome. Sometimes it looks like courage to face what I have avoided, not alone, but with you beside me. Help me to trust the process. I may not feel different immediately, but that does not mean you are not working. I may still cry sometimes, but that does not mean I am not healing. Teach me to celebrate small victories. The first time I speak the truth without fear. The first time I choose grace over anger. The first time I stop apologizing for who I am. These are not small things. These are signs of resurrection. These are the beginnings of a life made whole. God, I need you to touch not just the obvious pain, but the quiet kind, the kind that hides behind responsibility, behind faithfulness, and behind strength.
Loop.
I need you to whisper truth into the lies I still carry. Lies that say I will never change. Lies that say I deserve the pain. Lies that say I have to earn love or carry shame. Break those lies, Lord. Replace them with truth that settles deep into my bones. Truth that reminds me I am chosen. Truth that affirms I am not too damaged to be used. Truth that says I am yours, completely, unconditionally.
Cuckold.
Forever, I ask you to heal not just my past, but how I see myself because of it. Heal the lens through which I view others, the filter that fear created. Heal the habits that formed in response to pain. Heal the boundaries I built in panic rather than wisdom. Heal the way I pray, the way I love, the way I hold myself back from joy. Let my life no longer be a reaction to what hurt me, but a response to the love that is healing me. And Father, heal my body, too. I know you are not only the healer of hearts, but also of minds and cells and systems. You see where exhaustion has settled in my flesh, where stress has taken up residence, where the aches and ailments are more than physical. They are signals that something deeper needs attention. So I surrender this body to you, every tight muscle, every heavy breath, every restless night. I ask you to renew me, inside and out. Let restoration touch every part of me, spirit, soul, and body. Let nothing be off limits. Let no room remain untouched. Let no wound remain closed off from your love. I trust that what you touch, you heal. What you speak to, you restore. What you breathe upon, you revive. So breathe on me now, Lord. Speak to the places that feel silent. Touch the areas I have ignored for too long, and bring life again. I want to live from wholeness, not from hiding. I want to love without fear of being hurt again. I want to step into each day without the shadows of yesterday following me. I want to walk lightly, speak freely,
Cuckold.
rest deeply. I want to look in the mirror and see not the broken version of me, but the healed one, the one you always saw, even when I could not. Thank you for seeing past my walls. Thank you for stepping into the mess without hesitation. Thank you for being the God who does not rush healing, but never abandons the process. You stay. You wait with me. You work slowly and surely. And you are not finished. I believe you are healing me, even now, even here, even in ways I can't explain yet. I believe that someday I will tell this story differently, not with pain, but with gratitude, not with shame, but with joy, because you are making me whole in the places I thought were lost forever. And that is the miracle I received today. Father, now that I have let you into the hidden places and invited you to heal, what I thought had to stay broken. I feel the air inside me shifting. Something is lighter, something is clearer. It is not just that you have taken the weight, but that you are offering something, in return something new. And I want to receive it fully. I do not want to carry the healed shell of an old life. I want to become someone new from the inside out. I want to live from the wholeness you are awakening in me. God, I am ready to shed what no longer belongs. I am ready to remove the old labels that have clung to me for too long. Not good enough. Always behind. Too much. Too little. These names never came from you, and I refuse to wear them any longer. I choose today to step out of the roles I perform to be accepted. I choose to stop shrinking to stay safe. I choose to stop pretending just to survive. I am not who pain tried to make me. I am who you created me to be. So let the new begin in me, not someday, not when I feel braver, but now. I say yes to the transformation that starts in small moments, in quiet choices, in daily surrender. I say yes to waking up with hope instead of dread. I say yes to speaking truth, even when it trembles in my throat. I say yes to looking at myself through your eyes that are never harsh, never dismissive.
Dude.
Always kind.
Dude.
Let that vision become the lens through which I see my own life. Lord, I receive the identity you have spoken over me since the beginning, before the mistakes, before the heartbreak, before anyone else had the power to define me. You called me chosen. You called me loved. You called me enough. And I want to live like those words are true, not because I earned them, but because you declared them. Help me walk in that truth, not just in prayer, but in how I carry myself through this day. If you say I am a new creation, then I choose to leave behind the habits that kept me bound. I choose to release the thought patterns that led me in circles. I choose to replace shame with grace, fear with faith, and control with trust. I am not just asking to feel different. I am asking to become different. I do not want change that fades. I want transformation that lasts. Let it take root in my decisions, my relationships, my responses.
Dude.
God, I give you permission to rewire what has been conditioned by pain. Where I once expected rejection, teach me to expect love. Where I once feared failure, teach me to pursue purpose. Where I once clung to approval, teach me to rest in belonging. Let the renewing of my mind not be a passing moment, but a daily rhythm, an awakening to the truth that I am already accepted, already enough,
Called.
already free.
Cuckold.
Teach me to speak from this new place. Let my words carry life, not apology.
Ooh.
Let my voice rise not to defend, but to declare. Let my silence be filled with peace, not fear. Let everything that flows from me reflect the work you are doing within me. Let no part of my life remain stuck in the old when you are calling it into the new. Father, I want my heart to reflect this transformation. Let it be soft but strong. Let it be tender but wise. Let it beat with compassion, not guardedness. Let it stay open even after disappointment, even when it is easier to shut down. Let it trust that new beginnings can be safe and sacred. Let it believe that healing is not just behind me. It is the ground I now walk on. I also ask for the courage to live as the new version of myself, even when others only remember who I used to be. I know not everyone will understand this change. Some may question it, resist it, or try to pull me back. But I am not here to prove myself. I am here to follow you. Give me grace to stay steady in the face of misunderstanding. Give me humility to grow without pride and boldness to grow without fear. Let this newness show up in how I treat others, especially those who never treated me well. Let it show up in how I make choices, how I set boundaries, how I forgive, how I dream again. Let it show up in the way I love people who are hard to love, and then the way I speak to myself when no one is listening. Let it touch the smallest parts of my day until my life becomes a quiet revolution of grace. God, I want to live forward, not chained to memories, not dragged by regret. I want to live from the truth that the old has passed away and the new has come. Let that truth not just be a verse I recite, but a reality I embody. When I wake up, let it be my anthem. When I walk through fear, let it be my anchor. When I am tempted to turn back, let it be my reminder. This new beginning is not about doing more. It is about becoming more of who I have always been in you. It is about saying yes to the life you envisioned when you formed me. It is about walking with open hands instead of clenched fists. It is about trusting that even when I feel uncertain, your spirit within me knows the way. I do not have to strive. I only have to stay surrendered. So, Lord, today I open myself fully to the new you are doing. I open my heart without resistance. I open my mind without conditions. I open my life without fear. Whatever you want to start in me, I welcome it. Whatever you want to release from me, I let it go. I do not have to carry the old to be faithful. I do not have to wear the past to be known. I am yours, and that is enough. Let this moment be a marker, a line drawn in quiet resolve, a step out of the familiar into the unknown, trusting that you are not just calling me into something new, you are calling something new out of me, and I am ready to live like I believe it. I am ready to walk into the life that is no longer shaped by who I was, but by who you say I am. Let the new begin, not around me, but within me, right here, right now, and let it never be undone. Father, now that I have embraced the new you are birthing within me, I sense a stirring beyond my own healing. You have done a deep work in my heart, and I know it was never meant to stay only within me. This transformation carries purpose. This restoration has direction. You did not free me to stay still. You called me to rise, to walk, and to be a vessel through which your light can move. So today, I offer you not only my pain or my prayers, I offer you my life. God, if you have brought me through the valleys, then use what I have learned to walk beside others in theirs. If you have healed what once was hidden, then let that healing become a testimony, a reflection of your kindness that speaks louder than sermons. Let the places where I once bled now bleed compassion. Let the cracks in me become windows through which others can see you more clearly. I do not ask for spotlight or applause. I ask for alignment. Align my life with your will so that every step I take echoes with eternity. I want to live for more than comfort or survival. I want to live with intention, with obedience.
Dude,
with a heart that seeks to serve, not just be seen. Use what I have been through, not as a badge of pain, but as a bridge to others who feel alone in theirs. Let my journey become a pathway, that points them to your faithfulness. Lord, remind me that I do not need to be extraordinary to be used by you. I only need to be willing. I offer my ordinary today, my schedule, my words, my gifts, my listening ears, my quiet moments. Multiply them however you choose. Let my simple yes become the seed of something sacred. I do not know what doors you might open, but I am not here to predict. I am here to respond. Wherever you lead, I want to follow, even if it stretches me, even if it costs me. I ask for boldness, not to impress, but to obey. Give me the courage to speak when silence would be easier. Give me the humility to serve without recognition. Give me the strength to persevere when the work is slow and no one sees the effort. Let me be faithful in the unseen, consistent in the quiet, anchored when storms try to distract. Let my faith be louder than my fear, my trust steadier than my doubts. Lord, use my story, not the polished version, but the honest one. Use the chapters that hurt, the ones that almost broke me. Use the moments when I questioned everything, but clung to you anyway. Let those parts become doors of empathy, entry points for others to encounter your grace. You waste nothing, and I believe that what the enemy meant for harm, you will turn for good, not just for me, but through me. I open my hands now, not just to receive, but to release. Whatever you have placed in them, resources, talents, time, I give them back to you. Teach me how to steward well what you have entrusted to me. Teach me not to bury what I fear might fail. Let me not compare my calling to someone else's or measure impact by numbers. Let me find joy in obedience. Let me remember that even a single act of kindness can ripple through eternity. God, open my eyes to divine assignments hidden in ordinary places. A stranger who needs encouragement, a friend who needs grace, a family member who needs forgiveness, a community that needs hope. Let me not overlook these moments because they seem small. Remind me that heaven often moves through the unnoticed, and remind me that my role is not to perform, but to participate. And if you call me to build something, let me build with integrity. If you ask me to lead, let me lead with compassion. If you ask me to wait, let me wait with purpose. If you send me into unfamiliar territory, let me carry peace wherever I go. Make me a carrier of your presence, a bearer of your light, a reflection of your mercy in dark places. Let people encounter you through how I live, how I love, how I listen. Lord, if there is still fear in me about stepping forward, silence it with truth. If there is hesitation in my heart, replace it with clarity. Remind me that I do not go alone. You go before me. You walk beside me. You dwell within me. And every yes I whisper is empowered by your Spirit, not my strength. I do not have to have all the answers. I just need to stay surrendered. I give you the dreams I have been too afraid to speak aloud, the passions that stir but feel too big, the burdens that break my heart. If they are from you, breathe life into them. And if they are not, gently remove them so I can be light enough to run. I only want what brings you glory. I only want what draws me closer to your heart. Let my life reflect heaven, not by perfection, but by presence, your presence flowing through every moment, every word, every decision. Now, and when the days feel long or the work feels heavy, remind me that even then, I am in the center of something sacred. When no one notices, when progress feels slow, when prayers seem to echo, Still, you are there. Still, you are using me. Still, you are weaving glory through obedience. Help me not grow weary in doing good. Help me to remember that every seed planted in faith will produce fruit in its time. I surrender again. God, not because I must, but because I trust. I trust that your way is better, your timing perfect, your plans higher than mine. I trust that what you start, you finish. I trust that my role in your story is not insignificant. Even if it feels quiet, I trust that your glory is not just seen in the miraculous, but in the mundane when offered in love. Use my life for more than survival. Use it for impact. Use it for truth. Use it for love that disrupts darkness. Let me carry what you have given with joy and pour it out with courage. Let me be a living offering, not flawless, but faithful, not powerful in the world's eyes, but yielded in yours, not loud, but rooted, not striving,
Dude.
but surrendered.
Backled.
I say yes not only with my lips, but with my life. Take all of me and do something only you could do. God, as I sit in the stillness of this final moment, I feel the quiet weight of everything you have done. From the heaviness I carried in the beginning to the surrender that softened me. From the healing that came in places long forgotten to the bold. Yes, I whispered when you called. I have walked a sacred road with you. And now, something within me feels different, not just lighter, not just clearer, but alive. You have breathed into places I thought were too far gone. You have rewritten words I once believed about myself. You have turned silence into strength, scars into stories, and ordinary days into holy ground. You have proven again that nothing in my life is wasted when it is placed in your hands. And now, I rise not just from prayer, but into purpose. Not just from quiet, but into courage. This is not an ending. It is a beginning clothed in stillness. A new day, rising with the memory of what we have walked through. You are not just the God of healing, or the God of breakthrough. You are the God who remains. The one who walks with me long after the words have been spoken. The one who will still be whispering truth to my heart when the world gets loud again. The one who never lets go, even when I forget to hold on. Let your glory rise in my life, not as a moment, but as a movement. Let it shape how I see people. Let it shift how I speak to myself. Let it fill the atmosphere of my home, my work, my quiet places. Let it be seen in how I carry peace into tension, how I listen without judgment, how I choose mercy over pride. I do not want to just reflect light. I want to carry it. I want to be a vessel that makes room for others to breathe and believe again. Thank you for the way you met me here. Thank you for staying with me through every chapter, when I doubted, when I hesitated, when I broke open and began again. You are not the kind of God who waits for me to be perfect. You are the God who draws near when I am honest, who moves toward me when I am unsure, who builds something beautiful, even from the pieces I thought were useless. Let me live from this place, not from striving or fear, but from rooted confidence in who you are. You are steady when the world shakes. You are present when the road is long. You are enough when I feel lacking. You are light when I forget the way forward. Let that truth remain close to me in the hours ahead, and every day that follows. Lord, teach me how to return to this space again and again, not just in the morning, But in every moment that feels dry or distracted, let prayer become the rhythm of my life. Not because I have to, but because I long to stay connected to the one who knows me so deeply and loves me so completely. Let the words I have spoken in this space echo into my daily life, not as distant memories, but as living truth. And when I forget, because I will when I fall into patterns, or let fear have the first word again, gently bring me back here. Remind me of what we have built. Remind me of what you have planted. Remind me that no amount of time or wandering can undo what you have begun in me. You are faithful to finish what you start. I bless the road ahead, not because I know what it holds, but because I know you walk it with me. I bless the waiting seasons and the open doors. I bless the hard conversations and the quiet celebrations. I bless the dreams that will rise slowly and the people I have yet to meet, whose stories will intertwine with mine. Let your glory shine through every step, and when the steps grow heavy, let me remember where my strength comes from. And now, to the one who has journeyed all this way in prayer with me. Thank you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for staying through the ache, the healing, the surrender, and the rising. Thank you for choosing to begin this morning, not with distraction, but with devotion. You could have rushed into the noise, but instead, you pause to let your soul breathe. That matters. You matter, and you are not alone. If this prayer has spoken to something in you, I invite you to share that below. Write what you felt. Write what you are still hoping for. Write what you can't yet say aloud, and trust that someone will read it with care. We are not made to walk alone. Your story, your voice, your heart, it belongs here. And if this time together has blessed you, I gently ask you to support this space. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss these moments of reflection. Share this video with someone who might be carrying a weight you can't see. Leave a comment not just to be heard, but to give someone else the courage to speak. Your presence helps create a community of faith, honesty, and healing. Let this not be the end of your connection with God today. Let it be the spark. Let it move with you through your morning routine, into your relationships, your work, your rest. Let it remind you that God does not only dwell in sacred spaces, He moves with you through every hour. So take this peace with you now. Let it sit on your shoulders like sunlight, warming your skin. Let it fill your chest like breath that no longer strains. Let it move through your mind like a quiet stream, washing away the noise. The morning has come, the light has returned, and somewhere deep within you, something has awakened, something holy.
Cuckold.
Something strong, something new.